It was a tribute to my father at 56 Hope Road, the Bob Marley Museum. And I was trying to get through the gate. And one of the security guys saw me trying to come through and started to clear the way for me. And he was like, make space, Gang Jr. coming.
For years, Damian Marley stood firm in the shadow of a legacy that defined reggae music. He walked proudly as Bob Marley's son, blazing his own trail while honoring a name the world worships. But now, the silence is shattered. After whispers, doubts, and rumors that refuse to stop, a single DNA test has upended everything we thought we knew. The truth? It's more shocking than anything fans expected. Damian has not only broken his silence, he's severed ties that many believed were unbreakable. Why now? What did that DNA reveal, and how deep does this family fracture go? This isn't just celebrity gossip. This is about identity, betrayal, and the unraveling of a legacy built on unity. Join us as we delve into the jaw-dropping truth that's shaking the Marley name to its core. Damian's place in the Marleys' legacy. Damian Marley is undoubtedly the most accomplished member of the extensive Marley family. His father, Bob, was not exactly known for being monogamous. The Melody Makers, led by Damian's brother Ziggy and including their siblings Stephen, Sharon, and Sedella, released a few successful albums in the 80s. However, it is Damian, the youngest of the Marley clan, who has recently captured the spotlight with his clever blend of reggae, dancehall, and hip-hop. According to Damian, there was no certainty that he would follow in his father's path. His dad passed away when he was just 2 years old. He grew up in a wealthy neighborhood of Kingston known as Stony Hill, raised by his mother Cindy Breakspear, a former Miss World and the inspiration for the Wailers' song Is This Love, along with her husband Tom Tavares Finson, a criminal lawyer and politician. Damian stated that his stepfather and his younger brother and sister are white Jamaicans. He was the only one with brown skin in their household. His father was a Rasta and deeply involved in the Marcus Garvey movement for black empowerment. He would sing against people in his stepfather's position, whom he viewed as Babylon. So, it was quite fascinating to grow up with that perspective. Nevertheless, when Marley decided to put aside his dreams of becoming an architect to pursue music, he embraced his father's legacy wholeheartedly. After finishing school, he adopted his father's Rastafarian beliefs. He explained that it symbolizes one love, and it's a genre that aims to create connections and foster positivity, although it appears there are some boundaries to this philosophy. He takes pride in his background through his songs, where he talks about his dad. Maybe Damian Marley accomplished something that Bob didn't during his life by making it big in America. Bob Marley and the Wailers never scored a top 10 hit like Welcome to Jamrock, nor did they have a platinum single like Make It Bun Dim, which was Marley's 2012 collaboration with EDM producer Skrillex. It must feel a bit strange to always be questioned about a father you didn't really know, while being constantly reminded of him in popular culture. And as if the identity question wasn't enough, whispers of a rift between Damian and Ziggy are now gaining serious attention. Speculation swirled for years about a silent feud between Damian and his stepbrother, but Ziggy finally broke his silence, dismissing it all as nothing more than rumor. Stay with us as we uncover how the rumor started and why fans still aren't convinced. Damian and Ziggy's alleged feud, the rumor that won't end. Ziggy Marley has come forward to clear up rumors about a supposed fallout between him and some of his brothers, including Damian Marley, regarding the recently released Bob Marley, One Love biopic. The film, which debuted on Valentine's Day, achieved a record box office performance, marking the biggest Valentine's Day opening and leading the U.S. box office with a total of $51 million. Its success has quieted many critics, some of whom believe that a Jamaican or one of the Marley brothers should have portrayed Bob. The producers, including Ziggy and Sedella Marley, ultimately selected British actor Kingsley Ben-Adir for the role of Bob after being impressed by his audition. It's worth noting that none of the Marley brothers auditioned for the part of Bob Marley. Additionally, there was some backlash over the exclusion of Cindy Breakspear from the final cut, which has fueled speculation that Ziggy Marley, one of the film's executive producers, has a disagreement with his brother Damian Jr. Gong Marley. To complicate things further, Jr. Gong was absent from all of the film's premieres in Jamaica and abroad, and he hasn't promoted the movie on any of his social media platforms. In an interview, Ziggy Marley addressed the rumors of a rift with his brothers and the criticism surrounding the biopic. He mentioned that he speaks to his brothers every day and that their family doesn't engage in such drama. He also explained that Damian had other commitments and emphasized that his family is united. Ziggy Marley expressed that he isn't worried about any criticism from movie viewers and acknowledged that some of it might be valid. However, he highlighted the overwhelmingly positive feedback the film has received from audiences, which stands in stark contrast to the low score given by critics like Rotten Tomatoes. Whether the feud was real or imagined, one thing stands out. The Marley brothers still share the spotlight. Stay with us as we explore how their on-stage chemistry keeps the family legacy alive. The Marley brothers under the spotlight. Bob Marley was incredibly prolific, both in his career and personal life. During his 36 years before losing his battle with cancer, the legendary Jamaican reggae singer-songwriter and activist released 13 albums, one of which came out after his death, and had 11 children, 9 of whom are his biological kids. Out of these 11, 7 have pursued their own music careers, including 5 sons: Ziggy Marley, Stephen Marley, Damian Jr. Gong Marley, Kymani Marley, and Julian Marley, who are now touring together across North America. The Legacy Tour truly showcases Bob's lasting influence on the world, 43 years after his premature death. 2 decades after their last performances together, the 5 Marley brothers returned to the stage to remind everyone that the Marley name is still significant, just ahead of what would have been their father's 80th birthday in 2025. During their performance at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater in Chula Vista, California, the 5 Marley brothers demonstrated that there is much more to their legacy and the tour than just the iconic songs their father left behind. The 5 sons, who collectively hold 22 Grammy Awards, shared the spotlight fairly evenly. After an opening DJ set by Jeefus of Stone Love, Ziggy, Stephen, Damian, Kymani, and Julian took the stage with a video of their father getting ready to perform Natural Mystic. They followed suit, taking turns on the mic in a choreographed manner to their dad's captivating track. The brothers kept sharing the spotlight, just like well-raised siblings do during songs like Get Up, Stand Up, and Iron Lion Zion, which got the excited crowd into a wild frenzy. Except for a similar division of roles on Wake Up and Live in the middle of the concert, the Marley brothers mostly spent the rest of the main set passing the metaphorical baton from one song to the next. As the oldest son of Bob, Ziggy kicked off that part of the show with a touching performance of Coming In From the Cold. He then stepped back to let Julian take over with Positive Vibrations, who then passed the stage to Kymani for Heathen. After Kymani finished his part, Stephen took over for Rebel Music before handing it off to Damian, who often collaborates with the Marley family for Concrete Jungle. Ziggy and Stephen shared the vocals on War, which flowed right into Damian's lead on No More Trouble. Julian then took on Running Away with great skill, smoothly setting up Kymani and Damian to team up on Crazy Bald Head. This started another round of the brothers performing songs from Bob's collection. Ziggy sweetly sang 3 Little Birds, with some help from Damian and Stephen. Damian then brought his signature jamrock energy to Is This Love before Stephen delivered a perfect impression of their dad on Don't Rock My Boat, Satisfy My Soul. Kymani took the mic for Buffalo Soldier, while Julian had the crowd jumping along to jamming. The night wasn't just about Bob Marley and the Wailers songs, though. Each brother had the chance to showcase an original track or 2 of his own. Julian took the spotlight for his solo performance of Boom Draw. Kymani performed New Heights. Ziggy had 2 slots for Shalom Salam and Melancholy Mood. Stephen joined Damian for their iconic anthem, Medication, with Damian also including Me Named Junior Gong, along with some jamrock verses from their dad's songs. One of these came near the end of the show on Kaya. Ziggy led the vocals, but his brothers joined in for the chorus. The 5 Marleys wrapped up the main set by going back to their rotating style on Exodus, and they continued that during an encore of Could You Be Loved and One Love. The brothers' stop in Chula Vista was only the 5th show in their 22-date tour. But beyond the unity of the Marley brothers, Damian has carved a path of his own, one that stands tall, even outside the family name. Stay with us as we explore the rise of his solo career and the sound that set him apart. The evolution of Damian Marley. At 13 years old, Marley created a music group called the Shepherds, which featured Freddie McGregor's daughter and Cat Core's son from the Third World. They kicked off the 1992 Reggae Sunsplash Festival. Unfortunately, the band broke up in the early 1990s, leading Damian to pursue a solo career. With support from his father's label, Tough Gong, he launched his first album, Mr. Marley, which caught many off guard since they were used to hearing Marley sing instead of DJing. Following that, Marley put out his second album, Halfway Tree. The title Halfway Tree reflects his mother Cindy Breakspeare's background from the affluent side of town and his father Bob Marley's roots in the less privileged area, symbolizing him as a tree halfway between the rich and poor worlds. Moreover, Halfway Tree is a famous landmark that represents the cultural hub of Halfway Tree, with the clock tower that stands where the historic cotton tree once was prominently displayed behind Marley on the album cover. This album won the Grammy Award for Best Reggae Album in 2002. It was co-produced by Damian and his brother Stephen Marley, who also worked on Damian's debut album, Mr. Marley. At the Grammy Awards, he took home the awards for Best Reggae Album and Best Urban/Alternative Performance for Welcome to Jamrock. He is the first Jamaican reggae artist ever to win 2 Grammy Awards in one night. Additionally, he is the only reggae artist to win in the Best Urban/Alternative Performance category at the Grammys. Marley put out his third studio album, Welcome to Jamrock. In its first week, the album sold 86,000 copies, and it eventually got certified gold after selling 500,000 copies in the U.S. Damian's half-brother, Stephen Marley, was a producer and co-writer for the very popular song of the same name. The lyrics of the single Welcome to Jamrock were performed over a rhythm created by Sly and Robbie for Ine Kamoze about 20 years earlier, and they focused on issues like poverty, politics, and crime in Jamaica. Although the single stirred up some controversy at home for its negative portrayal of the island, many people appreciated the song's message. Dr. Clinton Hutton, a professor at the University of the West Indies, commented on the single. Jamrock uses the symbol of the inner city, of alienation, despair, and prejudice, but also of hope and Jamaican identity, to remind us of the fire of frustration, the fire of creativity, and the fire of warning to open our eyes and reflect on the life we are living. Yet, some of us still refuse to listen and acknowledge that enough is enough. The single hit number 13 on the UK singles chart and number 55 on the US Billboard Hot 100 chart. It also made it to number 100 on Rolling Stone's Top 100 Songs of the Decade list. Other popular singles from the album are The Master Has Come Back, Road to Zion featuring Nas, and Khaki Suit featuring Bounty Killer and Eek Mouse. In 2008, he featured on Mariah Carey's album with the track Cruise Control. Then, at the 2009 Grammy Awards, it was revealed that he was working on a collaborative album with Nas. Nas shared with reporters. On May 17, 2010, Marley released Distant Relatives, a joint album with Nas. The title of the album highlights not just the relationship between the two artists but also their shared African heritage, which influenced the music and lyrics of the album. They had previously worked together on Road to Zion from Marley's Welcome to Jamrock album. This album blends Marley's dubrock style with Nas' lyrical flow. Much of the album was produced by Damian and Stephen. The earnings from this album are intended to help build schools in the Congo. The album made its debut at number 5 on the US Billboard 200 chart, selling 57,000 copies in its first week. This marks Nas's 10th album to reach the top 10 and Marley's second top 10 album in the United States. Additionally, the album entered at number 4 on Billboard's Digital Albums chart and secured the top spot on the R&B and hip-hop albums, rap albums, and reggae albums charts. On an international level, Distant Relatives saw some success on the charts. It debuted at number 33 on the European Top 100 Albums chart. In the UK, it started at number 30 on the UK Albums chart and number 4 on the R&B Albums chart. In Canada, the album entered at number 9 on the Top 100 Albums chart. In Germany, it debuted at number 38 on the Media Control charts. The first single, As We Enter, was released on iTunes on the 23rd of February, 2010. It reached number 10 on the iTunes hip-hop/rap charts and number 41 on the iTunes music charts. The single also debuted at number 39 on the UK singles chart. During a sold-out panel discussion about the African diaspora and its connection to music, which was sponsored by National Geographic, Damian and Stephen Marley along with Nas were among the hip-hop and reggae artists expressing their support. The discussion highlighted the collaborations between artists from both genres and emphasized the Distant Relatives project. The existence of Super Heavy was kept a secret until May 2011. Mick Jagger, the English musician and lead singer of the Rolling Stones, announced its formation on May 20, 2011. The idea for Super Heavy came from Dave Stewart. Inspired by the sounds that flowed into his home in St. Ann's Bay, Jamaica, Stewart encouraged Jagger to blend their sound with that of Indian orchestras. Both Stewart and Jagger shared a fondness for Indian orchestrations, which led to the inclusion of A.R. Rahman in the supergroup, along with British singer Joss Stone. The band's name is said to be inspired by Muhammad Ali. The band started working on their self-titled debut album in early 2009 at a studio located in Los Angeles. They recorded around 35 hours of music. The album was showcased at Jim Henson Studios in Los Angeles on June 2011. During this event, the band performed 8 of the songs they had recorded. The lead single from the album, Miracle Worker, was released on iTunes in 2011. This reggae track features performances by Marley, Stone, and Jagger. It debuted at number 195 on the UK singles chart. The music video for the song was uploaded to YouTube on August 2011. Directed by Stewart and filmed at Paramount Studios in Los Angeles, the video includes all 5 band members. The second single from the album, Satyameva Jayate, which means Truth Alone Triumphs in English and is the national motto of India, was released on August 2011, just a week before India's Independence Day on August 15. The song, composed by Rahman to have an Indian vibe, features Jagger singing in Sanskrit, along with contributions from Stewart, Stone, and Marley. It premiered exclusively across 22 cities in India, and Tata Docomo is set to promote both the song and the album through mass media. Additionally, Beautiful People reached number 64 on the Dutch Single Top 100 chart. In 2012, Damian collaborated with electronic artist Skrillex on a track titled Make It Bun Democratic. This song is also featured in the 2012 video game Far Cry 3. Affairs of the Heart became a huge success in Jamaica, reaching the top of the reggae charts. Damian Marley put out his 4th studio album, Stony Hill, in July 2017. Its first single, Nail Pawn Cross, came out in August 2016. The album won the Grammy Award for Best Reggae Album at the 60th Annual Grammy Awards. Marley has said that his music is a mix of dancehall and reggae. He added that he had seen people trying to divide the two, but it's all part of Jamaican culture. He doesn't want to classify or separate them. Distant Relatives blended hip-hop and reggae sounds, and Marley along with Nas also used samples from African music in the album. The lyrics focus a lot on themes related to Africa, including ancestry and poverty, along with social commentary about the United States and Africa. The song, Count Your Blessings, talks about the struggles faced in Africa,